Hello there, Seraphim17 once again, introducing you to my Modern Warfare 3 Veteran Difficulty video walkthrough. This is the second section to Scorched Earth, and we're now in Act 3. And this checkpoint here is a potentially difficult section of the game. I died maybe 4 or 5 times on my recording run on this bit. I didn't die once on my original playthrough, so I didn't expect it to be tough, but I got really unlucky with a couple of runs here. And the reason for it is you can either go left or right, but you need to use the tanks as cover. And as you can notice, the battlefield gets really crowded with enemies, and sometimes you just get shot from an angle you're not expecting and you die really quickly. And there's not too much you can do about it. You just need to have a little bit of luck and decent awareness of where the enemies are. If you can combine the two, you'll get through this with no issue, but if you get as unlucky as I did, you might die a few times, because the enemies, they 1 to 2 shot killed me, and I couldn't understand why, because I wasn't having it for the majority of the game, but on this moment I got it quite a lot, and it did become frustrating. But I preferred the left side to the right side. It just seemed to be easier, and I preferred to keep as close to the concrete and the tank as I could and just make my way up and try and push a checkpoint. Because the most frustrating section on here is how frequent the checkpoints are not. They do not pop up nowhere near as enough as they've been doing so far through the game, and this bit can be kind of challenging. And right there I nail my own teammate because his name didn't pop up originally, and I wasn't risking getting killed by an aggressive AI. But as soon as you hit the checkpoint, you can breathe out because you've effectively pushed past the section I would consider difficult. And the rest of this is pretty standard. The only next tough section of this level before it ends is during a door breach, and it's only hard because I play on high sensitivity, and you have to be very quick. If you're on 3 or 4, you should be fine. But the building collapses, and then we resume to where we were at the start of the video 20 minutes previous. So enjoy that, because it's a nice little flash back and forwards. But the campaigns on these games, they always confuse me. The storyline and the narrative is never the strongest thing. I think the best one so far has probably been Black Ops, just because they tried to do something a little bit more interesting and a little bit, Fight Clubby. It didn't pay off because the twist on it was not the most obvious thing to try and read, because it was kind of preposterous, but at the same time, it was nice to have one of those oh moments, because not a lot of games do that, and I think BioShock did it best, and I don't think anything will beat that oh moment on BioShock, because it was genius. But it's nice that Call of Duty tried, and this one's just, we're going to have Price narrate everything, and everything's going to be super serious, and we'll be jet-setting around the world and talking about Makarov, and Makarov this, and Makarov that. Sounds like a fruit, but it never really hit the same notes, and something I found absolutely hilarious, just taking a little victory sip there, was how the game warned you at the start that there was a scene in it that could be disturbing, and it asked you if you wanted to see it. And if you remember, there's a lot of controversy over Modern Warfare 2 where on the level No Russian you walk into an airport and you shoot a bunch of innocent people because you're a fucking terrorist, and that's what terrorists like to do. And it asked you before you played that section because morally that section is wrong, and they wanted to give people the choice not to play it, but it's a pivotal moment during the storyline. It's the equivalent of, if like taking out the ring in the Lord of the Rings. It's the flashpoint that makes the story work. And some people, some overly sensitive, probably a bunch of fucking fundamentalist Christians, just decided that this wasn't good for anything, and they wanted to have it removed. So there's a bunch of versions of the game that have it completely taken away. Not even the choice to skip it, just removed from the game. It was banned in a bunch of countries, and the Russian news broadcasters on their news channels actually blamed Modern Warfare 2 for that shootout that would happen with the terrorists in that airport. And there was a whole bunch of controversy over it, and in the end of the day, it's just, game makers trying to make something that pushes the envelope, that gives you an emotional response. And if you watched it in a film, you wouldn't have batted an eyelid, but because you get to play it, in brackets, with both fingers doing the stupid bunny hands, that's what makes the difference. That's what turns you into a sociopath. So you can't watch a snuff film masturbating in your own feces and be a sociopath. You have to play it. That's the difference. As soon as they give you control in that digital world where you're not actually interacting with human beings and all you're doing is crunching zeros and ones, you immediately become a psycho. And I don't agree with it. But the funny thing is, this game tried to do the same. It tried to put one of those moments in when that family gets blown up, and it fell so short. I can't even describe how short it fell. That scene was funnier than it was anything else, and nobody's going to bat an eye at that because it's not enough. especially after no Russian. So to try and replicate that controversy again is just kind of poor taste and cheesy, if you ask me, because it's just nowhere near as impressive. I thought the very end section where Makarov is doing a certain activity when he dies was a lot more striking than that stupid bomb section. But this is the moment where you've got to shoot two guys with your pistol. You can't aim down sights, so your aim is super crazy, and they will kill you really fast unless you do what I just did. If you're on low sensitivity, that will be simple. If you're on high sensitivity, that's going to be a funny checkpoint, because it took me 3 goes. I died twice, and it was not cool. But there you go, people. That is the end of the level. We're pretty much at the last part of the game now, but I'll see you in those videos, and as usual, you take care now.